New tonight, it's another night. A widow puts her head on her pillow, wondering how did her husband really die. The family of Baltimore City Detective Sean Suter will be given some financial security, close to $1 million in a workman's comp settlement. Even still, we will never know, will we? WMAR 2 News' Eddie KADHIM is live right outside of City Hall, where Suter's family and attorneys talked about the emotional decision. Eddie?
Yeah, Jamie, no amount of money will bring back the husband, father, and police officer. For 3 years, how he was shot by his own service weapon while on duty has been in question. It's been a long and painful road to this point for the Suter family.
I stand before you today still with sadness in my heart, but determination on my mind.
Former Baltimore City Police Detective Sean Suter was fatally shot by his own service weapon 3 years ago. The question that remains unanswered is whether Sean or somebody else fired that fatal blow. Baltimore City Board of Estimates decided to give the family workers' compensation after a long legal battle.
My husband was so deserving of living life, and it was tragically taken. This settlement is just the beginning of amendments. You do not win workmen's compensation cases unless you are injured, hurt, or killed on the job. This to me is the first steps to acknowledge that Sean was murdered, the beginning of what my family needs, which is peace of mind.
A big part of the speculation circles around his ties with the Gun Trace Task Force and the prosecution of several officers that resulted from that investigation. He was scheduled to testify in those hearings the day after he died. In 2018, an independent review board concluded that he committed suicide. Last year, Maryland State Police seconded that opinion. Despite those rulings, the city's medical examiner has maintained that Suter's death was a homicide. Charles Schultz is the workers' compensations attorney for the Suter's family. He says the city did the right thing in acknowledging that Sean's death is a work-related injury.
This resolution cannot make up for what has happened to this family and for what has happened to Sean. However, it is a significant financial safety net for the Suter family, and it's a long-standing one.
In a statement, the city law department said, quote, "Indeed, findings of homicide and suggestions of suicide have made the question murkier, not clearer. But what has remained constant in the time since Detective Suter's death is that he left many to survive him, including his spouse and their minor child."
We're obviously appreciative of the fact that the city has recognized that Sean gave his life to the city that he loved. However, what's more important is that the family and myself, we're still working actively with the Baltimore City Police Department, and we look forward to a day when the crime is finally solved.
Baltimore City Police Commissioner Michael Harrison said in a statement that, quote, "Although BPD was not a party to any of the settlement process, I believe that this settlement is the right thing to do and does not preclude our ongoing investigation. We continue to work with the state's attorney's office on completing all investigative steps related to the death of Detective Suter, and that effort is unhindered and unaffected by the resolution of the workers' compensation claim agreed to by the city and Detective Suter's family."
This case should not be swept under the rug. My husband's life nor death will not be ignored. I ask of everyone to continue to say his name, continue to support my family, and continue to spread knowledge that Sean Suter was indeed murdered. Suicide was never an option.
Now, the city law department says that the civil settlement on Thursday in no way directs the outcome of the ongoing investigation into the manner of Detective Suter's death. The Suter family attorneys were adamant that there's still work to be done to secure federal and state benefits and to figure out how he died on that day. Live outside of Baltimore City Hall tonight, Eddie KADHIM, WMAR 2 News.
All right.